Okay, guys. Currently experiencing a few computer issues, but we should be able to punch through this okay. Um, just a couple of connection issues, so we haven't got the replays there. It's not actually running fast enough to show them without driving everyone mad, so we'll dash through them pretty quick. So we've got 11 races. I will say Launceston meetings I've got panels on Hobart over the past 12 or 18 months. I suppose you've only got to look at where the majority of the trainers are based, and the majority are in the north of the state. So common sense says the horse population is in the north, so the fields are going to have far greater depth in that area. So that's exactly what occurs. So it might be something authorities need to look at going forwards as to how many meetings get allocated to certain areas. I think at the moment Hobart still get far more meetings than Launceston. So anyway, the 2-year-olds over the 2200 metre trip. Maybe Jack, he's been a consistent horse all season, so well-deserved win. Makes his own luck, got gate speed. He looked in a bit of trouble half up the straight when Wardan Star loomed up, but he kicked on to win. Wardan Star, huge improvement on its Devonport performance. Obviously appreciated the softer trip. Detour Part hit the line well again. Couple of the favoured runners. I'll just actually click the writing option. Isaiah, too bad to be true. With 2-year-olds, you can't be critical because they get to the end of preparations pretty quickly. And Pessimistic, same boat. So both of them, obviously shown in the past they're far, far better than that. So total forgive there. But just the race on face value, the first 3 over the line, and TJ, did enough on debut. He looks a bit bit of a gangly type, so he'll probably improve a bit with racing. So the second, Creator Cruise just brained them. Cause was helped when Hazel Grant held the death early and became a bit of a roadblock for everything else thereafter, but I think it probably would have made the margin about 12 metres instead of 18. First Elva had its chance, but still ran well again. Jemima's Joy's probably the one who didn't have the best of luck early in the race, had to go back to last, so clearly the second best run in the race. So I think we can leave it there. Creator Cruise just dominant. The third, God's Sake, got perfect run in trans. It was going to win a long way from home. Jilliby GG, very good in defeat. The past 2 have actually been huge improvements on what she showed when she first came to Tasmania. She's actually dug deep. If we have a look here, she's mile rate 2 dead 0.5. She's death seated all the way, and that's good time for this grade over the 2200 metre trip. I think she's a certain coming winner. The fourth, bunch finish, what have we got there? 8 metres between the first 10. And generally they're not the best form references in the world, but I just think in this case the right horses ran first and second. Christian Jazz led up the 3 wide line. Looked as if he was going to win with a little bit in hand on the turn, but you see he actually suffered a flat tyre and looked as if it happened on the point of the turn, so may have impacted his finishing burst a little bit. And Oliver's Mate did more work than anything in the run and stuck to his guns bravely. He's been very good his past couple as well, but the only issue with him is he tends to, trying to put it politely, light running second. Like, he's a super tough and brave horse, but tends to wait for them a bit. So, but he'll definitely give you a run for your money if you follow him. So, but as I mentioned, bunch finish, usually poison as far as form references, but I think the first 2 over the line were the best 2 runs in the race. Roger Ramjet was another one who just got absolutely dream run in transit and proved too strong late. Another swing of good again. Spitfire Rose, had to be impressed with her first up performance. Like, she's generally a mare who works her way through a preparation, but, you know, gone 158.3. You know, very quick lead time where she was working the entire way in it. Stuck to her guns well, so you'd imagine she's in for a good prep going forward. Milo Lynn probably should have finished a couple of metres closer. I mean, slowly getting back to his form of old, but yeah, I think sort of the first three, even Chirac continued to hit the line okay. The 6 was turned into a pegs-dominated mile race. Say what? Actually, when the ground shook, chat about her. Very good drive, went 3 fence. Worked out perfectly, but she put him away pretty quickly in the straight. Say what? He's a big, tough bugger. You know, and I think we pointed out last time the entire stable ran below par, so it was total forgive, and he proved that was definitely correct. Ultimate Courage had its chance, but ran well again. And Nance's Delight, like 3-year-old filly, death seating in 158, it's not there go. So you've got to give her a little bit of a pass for that, even though, you know, if they get beaten at short odds, yeah. And when they're running quick miles, it's virtually impossible to make ground out wide. So a couple here that are in the running line you can give a forgive to. Jive and Cullen first up in the state, got a dream trip, tend to be the theme of the night. Horse with the best run won. Paint the Wind was also, you know, trailed Drive and Cullen virtually all the way and did have its chance, but still a very pleasing return. Parmesano, another had its chance, but and he's slowly recapturing his best form as well. Cardinal Spec, disappointing on face value, did cop a bit of pressure, but from what we saw his first 2 or 3 runs this time in, I think he still would have taken some running down. And Regal Stride actually ran his best race in ages. So the 8th, Courageous Katie, is just, you know, $18.60 is totally ridiculous price. She was, you know, last win was full of merit. She went super. And this wasn't that much more difficult, to be honest. So, and I'll go as far as saying she's going better than any 3-year-old filly in the state at the moment. Pity the season, it's at the wrong end of the season, but yeah, she's had huge merit in the past 2 wins. The Panda, he was my result bet at Devonport last week, and he galloped down the back straight. Now you don't launch into it $10 too often, and I think he proved he would have won the Devonport race the way he hit the line against stronger opposition here. LJ's Mystery, you know, it's never easy from 12 over the mile, so she's honest again. Rock the Casbolt did enough on its return. And a couple here that stuck on okay after working early. McAdam and Only a Myth. So we'll take there. 2200 metre stand. Looked a tough race on paper, and it turned into a case of who got the... Cooler Julie got the best run in the race and won. First 4 probably all gone as well as each other. Pushkin was probably actually the best run in the race. Wrongly Accused ran his best race in ages as well, as did Regal Eagle. So, and they finished well clear of the rest, but might be a tricky form race. That one was sort of funnily run. The 10th, Suyu2, you know, letting look at the margins here, clearly merit in the first 2, finished a long way in front of the rest. Suyu2, very well driven with John Walters and the line well. Punchinello brave in defeat. He got shoved 4 deep, no cover about the 600 metre mark, and definitely the difference between winning and losing. And he was my result better than night as well for this week, so not having much luck with him at the moment. And also the one I send to all my friends, so apologies to all 4 of you. Anyway, yeah, so that's about that race in a nutshell. Probably the other thing we need to note here was Jody's Choice, first up in the state. Went round shortish odds. led, appeared to have its chance, but I did hear through the grapevine that it took charge in the preliminary and had to be caught by the clerk of the course. So, I just think in this day and age that punters should be made aware of that type of stuff. It's not that difficult to get the message out there. Like, they do fund the industry after all. So if you want them to keep betting and be transparent and how hard is it to tweet something out? So anyway, and that's not obviously sour grapes either. As I pointed out, I had my biggest bet of the night on Punchinello. So anyway, in the last very funnily run race there, like we can see here, they've first half in 58.6, home in 62.8, which can clearly make the form very suspect. Horses that had the best two runs in the race ran first and second. And I actually think the best three runs in the race were Cardinal Coffee, My Jew Dan, and It's Not Always About You. Cardinal Coffee got held up probably 2 or 3 times over the last 800 metres, and given even luck, clearly should have won. My Jew Dan just got absolutely attacked in front by Stuck Fast and left him a sitting shot. And It's Not Always About You was going to settle in he's going to lob on the back of Haley's Comet, and it broke around the first turn, lost about 50 metres and got beaten 20. I think if it didn't break, it probably wins the race for sure and certain, given how it was run. So just be very wary of this race, any race where they run them upside down. So they've run the last half, 4 seconds slower than the first half. So anyway, so a few tricky races to assess going forward. So I think also to follow, like Punchinello was good, but I'm not sure if you'll get into a lower points race again going forward. So and the other two we pointed out earlier, Spitfire Rose, I think she's in for a really good prep, and Oliver's Mate, if you can get over his phobia of winning, he's definitely worth following. And probably the one I will make the one to follow is also I've actually been critical of over since she's arrived in the state, and Jillaby Gigi. She's actually found dug deeper past couples, so she's not just a speedy squib anymore. She's got a bit of bottom to her, so I think we can follow her. She's obviously still very lightly assessed, so should definitely be able to get in some winnable races in the very near future. So anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up there. There's not too much else I can think of I want to touch on. So we'll call it quits there, and we'll catch up with you later in the week. But thanks again for your time.